If you look at the innovations today and how they are being used, you know Satan has an agenda. If you look at the trends today, you know Satan has an agenda. But what is happening? Where are those in church who are burdened to stand in positions of power to say no to demonic agenda? Where are those who don't just have bodies but have capacity to say no, and when they say no, their no has impact? This is why we are here tonight. I began by telling you yesterday that every legislator must have weapons, and I outlined 5 weapons of legislators. I said number 1 is wisdom. Anybody who does not have wisdom cannot reign in this life, and if you can't reign, you can't defend God's interest. Wisdom was speaking in Proverbs 8:15. He said, by me kings reign, princes decree justice. He said, nobles and all the rulers of the earth. That means anybody who is reigning as a king, at the foundation of his reality, there is a wisdom working. Wisdom has power for enthronement. And so if you will stand in the place of authority to advance God's agenda, you can't lack wisdom. That's why in this kingdom, in James 1:5, he said, if any man lacks wisdom, it's not something he should take for granted. He should ask of God, that giveth liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given to him. So you can't afford to lack wisdom in this kingdom. We reign by wisdom. When wisdom begins to work in you, you become indispensable. You study the book of Daniel. In Daniel chapter 5, we saw that the king somehow lost touch with Daniel. It looked as if they didn't want him anymore, until suddenly a hand wrote on the wall, mene mene teke ofasin. All of the wise men couldn't interpret it. They had no choice but to invoke the wise man called Daniel. And you know, this is the excellency of wisdom. You don't have to lobby for position. When you have it, it is clear that if you are not there, things will go wrong. And when Daniel showed up, he came from the cave. And when he came, he didn't even act politely. He said, you, the Lord exalted you, gave you a kingdom that spans from one end of the earth to another. You now think you are wise. You are now worshiping the God of I. Only a wise man can talk like that, because you can't touch him. If you touch him, the kingdom is in jeopardy. You worship the God of iron, the God of stone. This is why this hand has come. And this is what the hand means. Many. They couldn't even read it, because where the hand came from is another civilization superior to the one they had. But a wise man knew how to journey from time to eternity. A wise man knew how to cross the veil of mortality to immortality. And he came with counsels that were rooted in the oracles of God. He said, mene, take care of a sin. He said, you have been judged. You have been weighed in the balance. Imagine if we have such men in the body of Christ. Presidents will tremble, because when we visit, they will know that there's crisis. You know, it's so sad that in darkness they are able to maintain some of these things. Do you think if a sorcerer walks to the king's palace, they won't take him serious? You are the only one that comes as a pastor and they think you are coming to beg for money. No herbalist goes there and you intimidate him that he's coming to beg for money. You know, if he came, he brought a message from a spirit. Meanwhile, all those spirits are servants. We worship the Ancient of Days. We worship the I am that I am. We worship the creator of the ends of the earth. Every other spirit is subordinate to our God, yet our representation is mundane. No wonder I say I've seen an abomination on the face of the earth. He said beggars are riding on horses while princes are trekking. In the days of the fathers, if a prophet walks to a king, the king knows that he's either blessed or he's in trouble, because they come with the verdicts of the spirit, and they had the reputation to always be right, because they function by an authority called wisdom. Our parliament is crying for wise men. Our nations are crying for wise men. Our civilization is crying for wise men. Men who can look at the crisis of society, diagnose it, and give prescriptions that will change things. Christianity is not just about singing in church. It's about raising wise men, sending them into society to shape society until God can be seen in our territories. But it will take the weapon of wisdom for that to happen. Where are the wise men? Egypt was about to crash, and suddenly the butler remembered that there's a wise man in prison. He didn't come out of the prison because they liked him. He came out of the prison because he has a commodity that you can't do without. And when the guy came, does it not shock you that they didn't need to read? He came, he looked at the king. He said, this is the dream that you have had. There will be 7 years of abundance. But be careful. After that 7 years of abundance, there will be 7 years of famine. Now, if you will be saved, you have to store 1/5 of everything you produce in the first 7 years. Otherwise, your nation will crash. And the king looked at him. He said, in as much as God has revealed this thing to you, he said, there's no one in your class. He said, therefore, take over. According to thy word shall the nation be ruled. We don't beg for position in this kingdom. We rise by wisdom. But we have reduced Christianity to a religious movement. This is why there is a demand for legislators. Men that can look into the spirit and tell you the mind of God, the position of God. And if you doubt them, you will see the consequence.